Hello students, how are you all? I hope you are fit and fine at your home. Dear students, today we are going to listen to a story named as The Emperor's New Clothes. Without wasting time, let's get started. Students, listen to this story carefully and attentively. The Emperor's New Clothes. In old time, there was an emperor who had great fascination for exquisite robes, unlike other emperors who ruled their people and minded their offices. This emperor was always busy in trying some or the other dress and spending his time against huge mirrors. In fact, the emperor was so much crazy about his dresses and looks that he cared for nothing other than these. The people of his kingdom were no stranger to his passion. His court was often flooded with the weavers and the traders who visited the emperor with new designed robes and claimed to provide a new look to him. One day, two tricksters visited the emperor and introduced themselves as weavers. "We can weave a special magical cloth and can design a robe which will be so exclusive that the world has never seen it before," said the strangers. "But the unique clothes will be visible to only those who are not fools or incapable in their jobs." The emperor was amazed to hear them and was very much eager to try the mentioned wondrous suit. He was very much sure that he was not a fool and was also not unfit to care for his job. The emperor sent the men with a big amount of money and the order for the exquisite suit. The emperor then began waiting impatiently for his new suit to arrive. So far, the tricksters were concerned. They were working hard day and night on their loom, which was of course empty. Very frequently, they appeared before the emperor to demand more money required for the job, which was provided to them at once. The emperor was becoming more impatient with each passing day. The emperor wanted to observe the progress himself, but he was apprehensive. "What if it could not be visible to me? I will be surely considered a fool," thought the emperor. "I must send my clever prime minister to observe the progress." So the prime minister was called and sent to the weaver's place. When the prime minister entered the room where the work was going on, he was stunned to see that the two weavers were busy weaving on the empty looms. "Am I fool?" the minister asked himself. "I am unable to see anything." But the very next moment he thought, "I must not discover this to emperor, else I will lose my job." So the prime minister pretended that he was highly impressed with the fabric and returned to the emperor. As the prime minister moved from the weaver's place, the tricksters laughed aloud on the foolishness of prime minister and rejoiced over their clever plan. "It's terrific," reported the prime minister. "Never before in my life I have seen such fine fabric." The report made the king even more eager. He called his trusted courtier and bestowed the responsibility to inspect the weaver's work and to give him a true impression of the fabric. The courtier visited the weavers but was shocked as well as disappointed to find no trace of thread on the loom. "Surely I am a fool who is unable to see such a fine fabric," he sighed. "But I must not let anybody know about this." The courtier stepped ahead, pretended to touch the fabric, and then exclaimed, "What a fabric! What a color! The design and color combination are unique." The tricksters were having hard time to suppress their laughter. They posed a calm look to hear the puffed remark. Eager to prove his own suitability, the courtier rushed to the emperor and hurriedly reported that cloth was indeed magnificent. When the emperor heard the courtier, he could not resist his temptation to see the wondrous suit and rushed to the weavers. The tricksters warmly welcomed the emperor and led him to another room where invisible suit was placed. The clever men then pretended to display the robe which was actually not there. The emperor was shocked to realize that he was unable to see the suit which his prime minister and his trusted courtier could see well. I must not consider it fool or unfit for the emperor's job, thought the emperor, who was quite worried. Quickly hiding his shame and disappointment, the emperor posed a gleeful look at the stepped ahead to touch the invisible suit. Indeed, a robe best suited for my liking, exclaimed the emperor as he pretended to see and touch it. The tricksters were given a handsome reward for their job, which was actually did not do. After 2 days, the annual day procession of the kingdom was to be held. The emperor was to lead it. By the time, the new suit of the emperor had become the talk of the town. Everybody in the capital wanted to see it and was willingly to assure for his own prudence. They sent their representatives with the request that they too wanted to see the emperor in his wondrous suit. Since the emperor was also willing to display his new attire to his subjects, he readily agreed to the request. On the day of procession, the weavers were called to help the emperor wear the new robe. They came with the new suit and asked the emperor to take off his trousers and jackets to dress him in his new attire. The emperor obeyed him foolishly. The clever men pretended to dress him, and when after a long time they finished dressing him up, they cried jubilantly, "Perfect! Your Highness, you are looking splendid in your new suit." But the emperor could hardly see anything other than his bare body as he stood in front of huge mirror. "I can't be a fool," he murmured. "I must be looking handsome." So the emperor paid the men handsomely and sent them. Such was the talk about the new suit that it attracted the folk from the nearby towns as well. A huge number of people gathered along the way through which the procession had to pass. At last, the long wait of the impatient people ended when the procession started under the leadership of the emperor. The people's eye popped out when they saw the emperor in glaring suit. "Am I a fool?" Instantly, a common question arose in the minds of the standing gathering as they watched the undressed emperor. But nobody there wanted to be known as a fool and remained quiet. After a while, a voice aroused from the crowd. "The emperor is looking handsome in his new suit." Soon the gathering followed the remark. Each of them wanted to supersede the other while praising for the robe. Suddenly a small boy giggled innocently and shouted aloud, "Ha ha ha! The emperor is without any clothes." The crowd burst into roaring laughter to hear it. For the emperor, he was red out of shame and anger. He did not know where to hide. So he ignored the laughing crowd and kept on walking. The courtiers too followed him, suppressing their laugh with great difficulty. As the emperor moved towards the palace, he murmured, "Indeed, I am the most foolish person in this world." So far, the weavers were concerned they were never seen in the kingdom again. Yes, students, have you liked this story? If you have liked this story, then do not forget to subscribe my channel, like it, share it to your friends. And dear students, if you want to listen to such kind of more and more stories, be connected with me. And to connect with me, do not forget to subscribe my channel. Thank you. Be studious. Be connected.